I'm hoping you guys can help me settle something and we can put the rumors to rest once and for all. Let me ask you something. Do men ever not pursue a woman because they are intimidated by her? Do men ever not pursue a woman because they're just too scared of how much they're gonna fall in love with her? We have been fed this tale that if a man is not pursuing you and a man is not making plans with you, that's probably because he's intimidated by you. He's intimidated by your success. He's intimidated by your beauty. He's intimidated by how fancy of a lifestyle you have. And I'm just curious, is any of that true? Is any of that true? When I think what it is that women are just too scared to admit that he's just not that into you and that he just doesn't like us very much. So we try to make ourselves feel better, so we tell ourselves this little lie. But I think we sound like fucking idiots. And
I think for the vast majority of women, yeah, that's true. You sound like idiots when you say stuff like that. That a man is somehow just intimidated because you're too beautiful or you have too much success. That's normally not the case, at least for the men that you actually do want. Those men that have made something of themselves. The ones that are probably fall in that category of being intimidated, they were just trying to get you pregnant and use the keys to your car. But even them, they're not going to say that. They're still going to engage with you and try to get you. So the ones that fall into that weird little chasm in the middle, you weren't even looking at them. You didn't even notice them. Most men are going to shoot their shot. But when you run up against the real truth that not every woman is attractive to every man, all men aren't clamoring over every type of woman, regardless of her style, regardless of her body type. No, some of you are unattractive to us, or some of you are men to us. So before we suss that one out, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. Still going strong. Still doing 2 a day. Still trying to pay that rent. So this reminds me of a conversation I recently was having just this morning about attraction, about rejection. Sometimes you get rejected because you're not his style, you're not his type, it's not his time. Has sometimes has everything to do with you, sometimes has nothing to do with you, but it's not because it's intimidating. That's a fallacy that was cooked up to make you feel better. What the conversation I was having today, what she was revealing is like, yeah, most women are taught that men are supposed to be fawning over every one of them. You can see the truth in that statement in how it doesn't really matter the type of body or how she looks. There is this inherent underlying principle where women tend to be shocked when men say they're good, they're not attracted, they rather take a step back. What do you see most of the time that's messed with? Oh, he's got to be gay. No, there isn't something fundamentally different about him. He's just not attracted to you. The sun still rose, the sun will still set, the earth will still turn. He's just not attracted to you. And we're realizing that now, we're realizing that today, that this stems from because you're taught you're perfect the way you are, that a man should be lucky to have your attention, to be in your presence. So when you come across a man that you look and you say, "Yeah, I like that type of man," or I'm feeling him, and he just kind of blows right by you and doesn't even acknowledge your presence. Or you do get to talking and he's not pursuing. He's not asking for the number. He's going about his business. He's wishing you a good day. Or he straight up just ignores you. Yeah, you can be unattractive. You can be ugly to men. And it's one of those things I wish we could have a real conversation about, where it's not it can be divvied up without being met with so much emotional sort of pushback. Where I'm saying, hey, yeah, you're not attractive to men. You're not as attractive as you believe yourself to be. It doesn't discount from the quality or the character in which you have. Doesn't discount your value as a human. It just says, yeah, according to the beauty standard, and if you want to attack the beauty standard, that's fine. That won't change where this is coming from. You think we have a Eurocentric beauty standard? Yeah, okay, cool. Some men are saying, no, I like the sisters. But even amongst that group, I'm not really attracted to you. And you should look at that not as just a whole total rejection, but it's, listen, you need to find someone you're more aligned with. or you need to work on the things within yourself to become more attractive to get the type of caliber of men that you're looking for, rather than taking it and taking it like it's an offense, like it's an attack. And now, since you've been attacked, you need to defend. Sometimes rejection is just, it's teaches, it's tutelage. It's a way to say, okay, I'm not where I think I am. I need to go back. When you write a book and you ship it out to all publishers and they come back and they reject it and they give you notes, why? Yeah, that's a chance to say, yeah, I may need to change these things. I may need to fix things. Just because you are ready or you think you're ready, you put yourself out there, does not mean you're guaranteed to get the thing you want, especially when it has another human at the end of it. That's going to be up to them. And that's a very fair, understandable thing to occupy. You never really want to be with someone that's not attracted to you, ever. You don't, when we see stories like that, when they see the love making has died and hasn't happened for years, and there's an attraction issue, or when she says, I'm not attracted to you, how much that kind of cuts deep and it hurts. But to bring it back to what she said, yeah, most times it's straight, just complete cap. It's women saying these things to make them feel better about themselves. He must be deficient. He must be, his mama didn't hug him enough. He must be gay. There's got to be something wrong. Imagine you upset at a man that's not giving you the time of day. He's just married, right? He's just trying to be faithful. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with him, but that's the first direction that we head in. There's got to be something wrong with it. It can never be something that says I'm probably falling short in some area that I think I should, that I think I'm pretty, you know, pretty rated pretty high in. We should look at the rejection as as an opportunity to sort of get better. To say, you know what, I was kind of mistaken here. When you apply for a job and you don't get it, sometimes you want to know why. You want to understand, okay, how do I beef up my resume? Or where was I falling short? But yeah, during the interview, you kind of stumbled on this, this, and this. Okay. Instead of thinking that something's wrong with them, the job, the universe itself, it's time to say, okay, I might have some areas where I need to fix. The idea, or the idea that none of us are perfect, that we're all work in progress. We can understand that in the abstract sense, some on the women's side. But when you bring it closer to you, when you reel that thing in, and you have to look at yourself and say, what areas do I need to work on? It seems like this is a hard concept. So we put a stop in the middle of that and we say something as like, yeah, there's got to be something wrong with him. He's intimidated. I'm too successful. He's afraid of falling in love with me. How deep he's going to fall in love with me. Men don't really think like that. Once we leave about 16, 17, we don't think like that anymore. I'm afraid how much I'm going to fall. No. In fact, if we could, fall madly head over heels in love right now, we'd love that. I think if we're being honest, if we could rekindle and recapture how we used to feel way, way back before the hurt, before the experience, before life, yeah, we'd be excited about that. But that's not how we think anymore. That is taking, that's using your feminine brain and using to answer your question about males. As I said before, sometimes it's easier just to ask males what they think about this and leave it at that, like she did. If you got something to add, let me know down in the comments below, of course. If you see videos when you're screwing out, take a look at those. Let me know your thoughts about those and those videos. And if you listen to sound my voice now, you haven't subscribed, join the train. We're just trying to pay the rent. I'll see you in the next one.